Amara Johnson, 14, walked home from Oakwood Middle School, her worn-out backpack bouncing lightly against her spine. The autumn sun hung low, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. She hummed a song she'd heard on the radio, her brand new, white sneakers, a birthday gift from her mom, crunching fallen leaves underfoot. The shoes were simple but special, the first pair she'd ever picked out herself. She'd saved for months, doing extra chores, and her mom had surprised her by covering the rest. No hand-me-downs this time, she'd thought proudly. The shortcut through Maple Lane was quiet, lined with aging brick houses and rusted fences. Amara liked this route. Mrs. Jenkins, an elderly neighbor, often waved from her porch. Today, though, the street felt oddly still. A chilly breeze swept by and Amara tugged her hoodie tighter. A police cruiser rolled up beside her, tires grinding against the curb. The passenger side window slid down. Officer Grant, his buzz cut sharp and uniform, crisp, leaned out. His partner, Officer Murphy, sat behind the wheel, chewing gum lazily. Grant's eyes locked onto Amara's sneakers. "Nice kicks," he said, voice flat. "Where'd a kid like you get those?" Amara froze. Her throat tightened. My mom bought them," she stammered. Murphy snorted, turning off the engine. Both officers stepped out, towering over her. Grant circled Amara like a hawk, his boots thudding heavily. "You expect us to believe that?" he said, bending down to her, eye level. His breath smelled of coffee and mint. "These aren't cheap. You steal them?" "No." Amara's voice trembled. "I didn't. I have the receipt." "Receipts can be faked," Murphy interrupted, arms crossed. His badge gleamed under the streetlight. "We've had reports of thefts round here. Fancy shoes like these? Bet they're stolen." Amara's chest heaved. She fumbled for her phone, hands shaking. "I'll call my mom. She'll tell you." Grant snatched the phone from her grip. "Not so fast." He tossed it to Murphy, who pocketed it. "You're coming with us." Why?" "I didn't do anything." Amara's eyes darted around, hoping to spot Mrs. Jenkins or anyone. But curtains twitched in nearby homes, faces peeking, out before disappearing. No one stepped outside. Murphy pulled handcuffs from his belt. The metallic click made Amara's stomach drop. "Hands behind your back," he ordered. "No, please." She stumbled backward, tears blurring her vision. "I just want to go home." Grant grabbed her wrist, twisting it roughly. "Stop resisting." Amara yelped, pain shooting up her arm. The cold cuffs bit into her skin. Neighbors watched silently from windows as the officers shoved her into the cruiser. Her sneakers scraped the pavement, leaving faint streaks. Inside the car, the smell of stale coffee and leather choked her. Murphy turned up the radio, humming to a country song. Grant glared at her through the rearview mirror. "Should have thought twice before stealing, kid." Amara pressed her forehead to the window, hot tears spilling. Why won't anyone help? The streets blurred as the cruiser sped toward the precinct. She replayed her mom's words. "Keep your head up, baby. The world's not always fair, but we keep going." At the station, fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Grant marched her to a cluttered desk, where a bored sergeant typed on a computer. "Caught this one stealing," Grant said, slapping the fake necklace on the desk. "Found it on her." Amara's jaw dropped. "That's not mine. I've never seen that before." The sergeant raised an eyebrow. "Says here you've got a history," he muttered, squinting at the screen. "What?" "No, I don't. Check again." Amara's voice cracked. Murphy smirked. "Save it for the judge, sweetheart." Her parents arrived an hour later, her mom's braids messy, her dad's work boots still dusty from his construction job. "Baby girl!" Her mom lunged forward, but Grant blocked her. "She's being processed," he said coldly. "Processed for what?" her dad barked, fists clenched. "She's 14. "Theft," Murphy said, leaning against the wall. "And resisting arrest." Amara's mom turned to the sergeant. "You have proof?" The sergeant shrugged. Officer's word against hers. Her dad pulled out his phone. "We're calling our lawyer. This is bull." But the system moved slowly. Amara was fingerprinted, photographed, and led to a cold, gray cell. The door clanged shut, echoing in her ears. She sank onto a hard bench, hugging her knees. How do I prove I'm innocent? The officer's lies replayed in her mind. What if no one believes me? Outside, her parents argued with the sergeant, their voices muffled. Amara stared at her sneakers. Scuffed now, dirt smudged across the toes. She wiped them with her sleeve, sniffing. Mom worked so hard for these. Night fell. The cell's single bulb flickered. Amara curled into a ball, shivering in her thin hoodie. Somewhere down the hall, a man shouted obscenities. She covered her ears, humming her favorite song. To drown out the noise. Hold on, she told herself. Truth has to win, right? The cell was cold, the concrete floor biting through Amara's jeans. She hugged herself, rocking back and forth, her breaths shallow. The station's noises haunted her. Clanging doors, muffled shouts, the occasional burst of static from a radio. A guard walked past her cell, his boots thudding. He tossed a scratchy blanket through the bars without a word. Amara wrapped it around her shoulders, but it smelled like bleach and sweat. She gagged. Down the hall, her parents argued with the sergeant. You can't keep her here overnight, her mom shouted, voice cracking. She's a child, or... Sergeant shrugged. Procedure. Judge will see her tomorrow. Her dad slammed his palm on the desk. This is wrong. Those officers planted evidence. File a complaint, the sergeant said, turning back to his computer. Amara's mom crumpled into a plastic chair, tears streaking her makeup. Her dad paced, phone pressed to his ear. Yeah, we need a lawyer, now. Hours dragged. Amara's stomach growled. She hadn't eaten since lunch. A different guard finally slid a tray of food through the bars, a dry sandwich and a juice box. She nibbled the bread, her throat too tight to swallow. Across the station, officers Grant and Murphy leaned against a coffee machine, smirking. Grant sipped his drink. Kid's gonna learn a lesson, he muttered. Murphy chuckled. Bet she'll think twice before mouthing off next time. Their laughter echoed down the hall. Amara pressed her hands over her ears. By midnight, her parents were forced to leave. We'll be back first thing in the morning, her mom promised, pressing her hand to the cell bars. Amara nodded, too numb to speak. The station grew quieter. Amara lay on the bench, staring at cracks in the ceiling. What if they send me to jail? What if nobody believes me? Her mind raced. She thought of her little brother Isaiah, probably crying himself to sleep. She thought of school. Would her teachers think she was a thief? A sudden bang made her jolt. 2 officers dragged a shouting man into a cell nearby. He kicked the bars, yelling curses. Amara shrank into her blanket, heart pounding. Morning came slowly. Sunlight seeped through grimy windows. Amara's eyes burned from lack of sleep. The guard returned with another tray, cold oatmeal. She didn't touch it. At 8 a.m., her parents rushed in with a woman in a sharp navy suit. Ms. Thompson, the lawyer, had warm brown skin and a no-nonsense stare. She knelt by Amara's cell. Hey, sweetheart, I'm here to help. Her voice was calm, like a teacher's. Tell me everything that happened. Amara stammered through the story, the walk home, the officers accusing her, the fake necklace. Ms. Thompson's jaw tightened. They've done this before, she muttered. In the precinct's lobby, Ms. Thompson faced the sergeant. My client is a minor. You violated protocol by holding her overnight without a parent or social worker present. The sergeant blinked. The officers said she was combative. Combative? Ms. Thompson pulled out Amara's school records. Straight A student, no history of trouble. Meanwhile, she slapped a file on the desk. Officers Grant and Murphy have 6 complaints in the last year for wrongful arrests. Sound familiar? The sergeant palmed his forehead. Look, I don't handle internal. You will handle this, Ms. Thompson cut in. Or the media. Will. She nodded toward the precinct's glass doors. Outside, a small crowd had gathered. Neighbors, classmates, even Amara's math teacher, holding a sign. Yar justice for Amara. Amara's eyes widened. Ms. Thompson winked at her. Your community's got your back, kid. In a cramped meeting room, Ms. Thompson briefed Amara's parents. The DA's charging her with theft. But the necklace is a fake. No store nearby sells anything like it. Those officers set her up. Amara's dad growled. So how do we prove it? Security cameras, Ms. Thompson said. You said Amara was on Maple Lane? Amara nodded. There's a bodega on the corner, Mr. Patel's store. He has cameras outside. Ms. Thompson grinned. Perfect. I'll subpoena the footage. Meanwhile, Grant and Murphy sat in a dingy bar after their shift, beers in hand. Grant scowled. That lawyer's gonna be trouble. Murphy shrugged. So what? It's our word against some kids. But what if someone actually checks the cameras? Grant hissed. Murphy froze. You said there weren't any on Maple Lane. Grant rubbed his neck. There's that bodega. But the owner's a pushover. He won't hand over footage without a warrant. Murphy slammed his beer down. You better hope not. Back at the station, Ms. Thompson argued with the DA. Drop the charges. You have no real evidence. The DA, a tired-looking man with glasses, sighed. The necklace was found on her. Planted on her, Ms. Thompson snapped. I have witnesses ready to testify about these officers' history of targeting black kids, and once I get that camera footage, the DA held up a hand. Get me the footage by tomorrow and I'll reconsider. That evening, Amara sat at her kitchen table, picking at her mom's fried chicken. Isaiah, her brother, clung to her arm. They really put you in jail? He whispered. Not jail, Amara said softly. Just a really bad place. Her mom kissed her forehead. Eat, baby. You need strength. Amara's phone buzzed, nonstop, texts from friends, Instagram mentions. A viral TikTok showed her classmates chanting her name outside the precinct. She blinked back tears. People care. They really care. Ms. Thompson called later. Got the footage. Meet me at the Yoitas courthouse early. And Amara? Yeah? Wear those sneakers tomorrow. Amara lay in bed that night, staring at her shoes by the door. They didn't feel special anymore. Just a reminder of the worst day of her life. But Ms. Thompson's words gave her a sliver of hope. Down the street, Grant paced his living room, chain-smoking. His wife glared from the couch. You messed up bad, didn't you? Shut up, he snapped. She stood, fists on hips. Our kids go to that school. What if people find out? Grant stubbed out his cigarette. They won't, but his hands shook. The courthouse loomed ahead, its stone walls casting long shadows in the morning light. Amara gripped her mom's hand, her new sneakers squeaking on the polished floor. The halls buzzed with reporters, lawyers, and strangers whispering her name. Ms. Thompson strode beside them, her briefcase clutched tight. Keep your head up, she told Amara. Today's the day we fight back. Inside the courtroom, wooden benches creaked as people filed in. Amara spotted neighbors, classmates, and even Mr. Patel from the bodega. Officer Grant leaned against a wall, arms crossed, smirking at her. Murphy sat in the back, chewing gum loudly. Amara's stomach churned. The judge, a stern woman with silver hair, entered. The room fell silent. This court is in session, she announced. The prosecutor, a young man with a slick tie, stood first. He held up the fake necklace. Amara Johnson was caught stealing this item, he said, pacing. Officers Grant and Murphy witnessed her resisting arrest. Amara's nails dug into her palms. Lies, lies, lies. The prosecutor called Grant. To the stand. The officer swore on the Bible, then spun his story smoothly. I saw her snatch the necklace near Maple Lane. When we confronted her, she kicked and screamed. Ms. Thompson scribbled notes, her face calm. Amara's dad muttered curses under his breath. When it was Ms. Thompson's turn, she stood slowly. Officer Grant, she said, you claim Amara stole this necklace at 3:15 p.m.? Yes. And you saw her do it? Clear as day. Ms. Thompson turned to the judge. Your Honor, I'd like to submit security footage from Maple Lane. Bodega. Grant's smirk faded. The screen lit up. Grainy video showed Amara walking past the bodega at 3:10 p.m., humming, her sneakers bright white. At 3:15 p.m., the time of the theft, She was halfway down the block, nowhere near Grant's claimed location. The courtroom erupted. Amara's mom sobbed into her hands. This proves Amara couldn't have stolen the necklace. Ms. Thompson, declared. Grant shifted in his seat. Maybe I got the time wrong. Murphy, sweating, blurted. It was 3:30. Ms. Thompson paused. The receipt from Amara's sneakers shows she bought them at 2 p.m. before the alleged theft. Why accuse her of stealing shoes she already owned? The prosecutor glared at the officers. The judge rubbed her temples. Officers, explain yourselves. Grant stammered. We must have confused her with someone else. Someone else? Ms. Thompson snapped. She pulled out a stack of papers. 5 complaints in the past year about you two harassing black teens. This wasn't a mistake. It was a pattern. The crowd roared. The judge banged her gavel. Order! Amara's heart raced. She glanced at her sneakers, scuffed but still gleaming. They're listening. They're finally listening. The judge stared at Grant and Murphy. Your testimony is riddled with lies. This court dismisses all charges against Amara Johnson. The room exploded in cheers. Amara's parents hugged her, tears streaming. Ms. Thompson squeezed her shoulder. You did it, she whispered. But the judge wasn't done. Officers Grant and Murphy, your conduct is disgraceful. This court recommends immediate suspension and a full internal investigation. Grant's face turned purple. You can't do this. Murphy slumped, gum falling from his mouth. As the gavel slammed, protesters outside chanted, Justice for Amara. Reporters swarmed her family. How do you feel? One shouted. Amara hesitated, then took the mic. I just want to go home, she said softly. But this isn't just about me. It's about every kid who's been scared like this. That night, Amara's house was full of laughter and soul food. Neighbors brought cakes, hugs, and stories. You're a hero, Mrs. Jenkins said, patting her cheek. Ms. Thompson pulled Amara aside. The fight's not over. We're suing the department. You game? Amara nodded. Yes, for Isaiah, for everyone. Weeks later, the police chief fired Grant and Murphy. Body cameras became mandatory. A community board formed to review complaints. At a press conference, Amara stood tall, her voice steady. Nobody should go through what I did. We're watching now. We won't stay silent. Cameras flashed. Behind her, protesters held signs with her face, her words. Years later, on her first day as a lawyer, Amara pinned her old sneaker receipt above her desk. When a scared teen sat in her office, wrongly accused, Amara leaned forward. Tell me. Everything, she said. We're gonna fight. Outside her window, the sun set, painting the sky in familiar shades of orange and pink. The city buzzed with autumn chill, leaves swirling around Amara's polished heels as she hurried into the courthouse. At 24, her office walls were adorned with framed headlines. Teen activist becomes advocate for justice. Today, though, her chest tightened. A new case folder burned in her hand. State vs. Jamal Carter, 15. Inside the courtroom, whispers followed her. She ignored the stares, focusing on Jamal slouched at the defense table. His hoodie swallowed his frame, eyes glued to the floor. The prosecutor, a sharp-faced woman Amara recognized from law school, argued, Jamal assaulted a store clerk. The officer's body cam proves it. Amara's knuckles whitened. Body cam footage. The reforms she'd fought for years ago were now being used against a kid. At the break, she knelt beside Jamal. Tell me your side. All of it. He glanced up, wary. I didn't touch nobody, was just buying chips. Cop grabbed me, said I stole. His voice cracked. They always do this. Amara's phone buzzed. A text from her mom. Isaiah's school called. Suspended for talking back to a teacher. She sighed. Some battles never ended. That night, Amara replayed the body cam footage in her cramped office. The video showed Officer Russo shoving Jamal against a shelf, yelling, Where's the money? Jamal's hands were up, chips scattered at his feet. The clerk off camera shouted, He didn't take anything, before the video cut. Convenient editing. Amara muttered. She needed the full footage. The next morning, she marched into the precinct. Chief Alvarez, a stern woman with silver streaks in her hair, blocked her path. "Your kid client's guilty, Johnson. Save yourself the trouble." Amara held up a file. 6 complaints against Russo this year. Sound familiar? Alvarez's jaw twitched. "Get a warrant." By noon, Amara stood before Judge Wilkins, the same judge from her case a decade ago. The woman's hair was whiter, her gaze sharper. "You're requesting unedited body cam footage, Ms. Johnson?" "Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution's clip excludes critical context." The judge steepled her fingers. "Granted, but tread carefully. The full footage revealed Russo planting cash in Jamal's backpack." Amara rewatched it, heart racing. Just like Grant and Murphy, she called Jamal's mom, who sobbed, "They took my boy 'cause we complained about mold in our apartment." Amara's office door flew open. Russo loomed, his badge glinting. "Drop the case," he hissed, "or your brother's suspension becomes an expulsion." Her blood froze. "Get out." He smirked. "Your choice, lawyer." The next day, Amara sat with Isaiah in the principal's office. The man droned. Isaiah disrupted class. Again. Her brother, now 16, glared. "Teacher called me a thug. I just asked why our history book skipped slavery." Amara squeezed his hand. "We'll fight this." But her mind raced. Russo's threat, Jamal's footage, Isaiah's future. Court day 2. The prosecutor played the clipped video. "Clear evidence of assault." Amara stood. "Your Honor, I have the full footage." The screen lit up. Gasps filled the room as Russo planted the cash. Jamal's mom wailed, "Liar!" Russo bolted up. "That's fake." Judge Wilkins silenced him with a look. "Officer Russo, you're under oath. Explain." Sweat dripped down his neck. I was securing evidence." Amara countered. "You staged it, just like Grant and Murphy did to me." The name drop hushed the room. The judge's eyes softened. A flicker of recognition. "This court dismisses all charges against Jamal Carter." She turned to Russo. "And you'll face an ethics review." Reporters mobbed Amara outside. "Another victory. What's next?" She stared at the cameras. "The system's still broken. We're not done." That night, Isaiah hugged her. "You're my hero." Amara's phone buzzed. Unknown number. A text. "Back off. Or next time, it's more than threats." She deleted it, trembling. But on her desk, Jamal's thank you note sat beside her old sneaker receipt. Truth has to win, she reminded herself. The text message haunted Amara. Next time, it's more than threats. She stared at her phone, the words blurring as rain tapped against her apartment window. Isaiah snored softly on the couch, exhausted from another day of school meetings. Amara tucked a blanket over him, her mind racing. Who sent that? Russo? Someone else? The next morning, she drove to Jamal's neighborhood. Boarded-up shops and faded murals lined the streets. Kids played basketball in a cracked parking lot, their laughter sharp against the gray sky. Jamal's mom, Ms. Carter, answered the door, her eyes red-rimmed. "They evicted us," she whispered. "Landlord said we disturbed the peace." Amara clenched her fists. "Because of the case." Ms. Carter nodded. "Russo's buddies keep driving by. Jamal's scared to leave his room." Inside, Jamal sat on a mattress, headphones on, staring at the wall. Amara knelt beside him. "We'll get through this." He pulled off his headphones. "How? They always win?" "Not always," Amara said, handing him a flyer. Community. Meeting tonight. Fight back against police abuse. Your voice matters. At the meeting, the community center buzzed with anger. A dozen families shared stories. Wrongful arrests, sudden evictions, kids suspended for defiance. Amara stood at the front, her voice steady. "We need to unite. Document everything. Sue together." A man shouted, "They'll just crush us harder." "Then we crush back," Amara shot back. "Bigger numbers, louder voices." Ms. Carter raised her hand. "I'm in." One by one, hands went up. Amara's phone buzzed. Isaiah. She ignored. It later, she found 10 missed calls. Her mom's voicemail. Amara, Isaiah's gone. Panic clawed her throat. She sped home, tires screeching. Her mom stood on the porch, trembling. He never came back from school. Amara called his friends. Teachers, hospitals, nothing. As night fell, her phone rang. Unknown number. Check your porch, a raspy voice said. A Polaroid lay on the mat. Isaiah, blindfolded, slumped in a chair. Scrawled on the back, stop the lawsuits, or else. Amara's legs buckled. Her mom screamed. The police took hours to arrive. Officer Diaz, a rookie, awkwardly took notes. Teen boys run away all the time. Amara shoved the photo at him. He's been taken and I know who did it. Diaz frowned. Any enemies? Russo, Grant, Murphy. Take your pick. He blinked. I'll file a report. Amara didn't sleep. She paced, clutching Isaiah's hoodie. Ms. Thompson called at dawn. I've got contacts. We'll find him. But Amara's gut said otherwise. This is my fault. At sunrise, her phone buzzed, a text with coordinates. A warehouse by the docks, she called Ms. Thompson. It's a trap, but I'm going. Wait for backup. No time. The warehouse reeked of fish and oil. Amara crept inside, phone flashlight shaking. Isaiah? A muffled whimper echoed. She followed it to a rusted office. Isaiah sat tied to a chair, tears cutting through dirt on his cheeks. Amar! He cried through his gag. She lunged to untie him. Heavy footsteps thudded behind her. Russo stepped into the light, baton in hand. Should have listened, lawyer. Amara shielded Isaiah. Let him go, take me instead. Russo smirked. Oh, I will. He raised the baton. A shadow moved behind him, Ms. Thompson swinging a fire extinguisher. Clang! Russo crumpled. Go! Ms. Thompson yelled, tossing Amara a knife. Amara sawed. The ropes. Isaiah stumbled into her arms. I'm sorry. Shh! Run! They sprinted outside. Sirens wailed. Police cars skidded in, surrounding Russo's unconscious body. Chief Alvarez stepped out, glaring at Amara. You're trespassing. Ms. Thompson stepped forward. Save it, we've got video. She pointed to her phone, live streaming to 20K viewers. Meet your new boss, the public. The video went viral. Find Isaiah trended nationwide. By noon, Russo was arrested. Chief Alvarez resigned. Reporters camped outside Amara's apartment. Isaiah wouldn't speak. He clung to Amara, jumping at every noise. That night, she scrolled through comments. Hero! Stay strong. But one message chilled her. You got lucky. A week later, Amara stood before City Hall, mic in hand. Thousands chanted her name. This isn't just about me or Isaiah, she shouted. It's about every kid, every family they've terrorized. We're suing the city, and we're winning, the crowd roared. Ms. Carter hugged her, Jamal grinning beside her. Across the street, a man in a hoodie watched. Grant, his face gaunt, eyes burning. He slipped into the shadows, texting, She's yours now. The city's protests faded to a simmer, but Isaiah's nightmares didn't. He slept with the lights on, jumping at every car door slam. Amara moved his bed into her room, her own sleep broken by his whimpers. It's okay, she'd whisper, stroking his hair. I'm here. Across town, the lawsuits piled up. Ms. Thompson's office overflowed with files, evictions, wrongful arrests, missing complaints. We're burying them in paper, she told Amara, grinning. But Amara's smile felt thin. Grant's text, she's yours now, gnawed at her. Who's yours? One evening, as rain lashed the windows, a knock startled them. A tall woman in a trench coat stood outside. Detective Mara Ruiz, her badge gleaming. I'm investigating. Russo's ties, she said, holding up a file. Mind if I come in? Amara hesitated. Prove you're not with them. Ruiz flipped open her phone. Photos of Russo in cuffs, Grant's mugshot. I put Grant away last year. He escaped parole. Isaiah peered from the hallway. She's legit, he muttered. I saw her on the news. Ruiz handed Amara a list. Grant's working with a gang now, they're targeting you. The names meant nothing except one, Viper, circled in red. The next day, Amara met Jamal at the community center. Kids painted posters, Stop Police Violence. Jamal's hand shook as he brushed letters. Viper's my cousin, he admitted. Used to crash on our couch, he's dangerous. Amara's pulse spiked. Can you talk to him? Jamal snorted. He'd slit my throat for a cigarette. Ms. Thompson burst in, waving a paper. We've got a court date. The city's offering a settlement. The room cheered. Amara didn't. Settling means silence. No deal, she said. We go public. The trial began in a storm. Reporters jammed the courthouse. Amara testified first, describing Grant's threats, Russo's kidnapping. The defense lawyer sneered. So you're a victim and a lawyer? Convenient. Judge Wilkins slammed her. Gavel. Watch your tone. Ruiz testified next, detailing Grant's gang ties. He's hired Viper to scare Ms. Johnson into dropping the case. The gallery buzzed. Amara's mom sobbed into a tissue. On break, Ruiz pulled Amara aside. Viper's been spotted near your office. Carry this. She pressed a panic button into her palm. That night, Amara worked late. Isaiah asleep on her office couch. The panic button sat beside her keyboard. Rain blurred the windows. A shadow passed. Then another. She froze. Click. The door unlocked. 3 men slipped in, masks, knives glinting. Viper's voice rasped. You're coming with us, lawyer. Amara slammed the panic button. Sirens wailed instantly. Bitch. Viper lunged. Amara grabbed her stapler, hurled it. It missed. Isaiah woke, screaming. A knife grazed Amara's arm. She stumbled, clutching her desk. Where's the cops? Viper yanked her hair. Should have quit while gunshots cracked. Viper dropped. Detective Ruiz stood in the doorway, smoke curling from her pistol. Down! Now! The gang fled. Ruiz cuffed Viper, who spat blood. Grant sends his love. Amara hugged Isaiah, both trembling. You okay? She asked him. He nodded, tears in his eyes. You're bleeding. Ruiz called an ambulance. We'll get Grant, I promise. News vans swarmed the scene. By dawn, Shukr Protect Amara trended. Donations flooded the community fund. At the hospital, Ms. Thompson hugged Amara. You're unstoppable. But Amara stared at her bandaged arm. How many more times will we bleed for justice? The trial resumed. The city folded, agreeing to every demand. Body cams, community oversight, a public apology. The crowd outside chanted Amara's name as she left court. Detective Ruiz met her on the steps. Grant's hideout was raided. He's gone, for now. Amara's shoulders sagged. Gone, not gone. That night she sat with Isaiah on their roof watching the city lights. What if he comes back, he asked. She pulled him close. Then we fight harder, together. A text buzzed. Unknown number. A photo of Grant, blurred, standing near a bridge. Message. You win. For now. Amara deleted it. Below, the streets hummed with life, resilient and unbroken. Amara's arm throbbed beneath the bandage as she stood before the crowd. The park was packed. Families on blankets, teens holding signs, elders in folding chairs. Microphone in hand, she forced a smile. We won reforms, but the fight's not over. The cheers were loud, but her eyes scanned the edges of the crowd. Where are you, Grant? A toddler handed her a dandelion. Amara tucked it behind her ear, her voice softening. Protect each other, that's how we win. At the back, a man in a hoodie lingered. Too tall, too still. Amara's breath hitched. Detective Ruiz, blending into the crowd, nodded. I see him. After the speech, kids mobbed Amara for selfies. Isaiah tugged her sleeve. Can we go? My head hurts. His nightmares had gotten worse. Last night he'd screamed, Don't touch her, in his sleep. Amara hugged him. Soon. Ms. Thompson waved from a picnic table. legal papers strewn everywhere. The city's delaying body cam funds, typical. Amara sat, rubbing her temples. We'll pressure the mayor again. Mayor's scared, Ms. Thompson said. But Grant's scarier. A shout erupted. The hooded man was gone. Detective Ruiz chased the figure into an alley. Garbage stank, rats scurrying. She drew her gun. Freeze! The man turned. A teenager, eyes wide. I just wanted her autograph. Ruiz lowered her weapon, cursing. False alarm. That night, Isaiah sketched in his notebook, angry lines, dark shadows. Amara peeked. Who's that? The man who took me. He slammed the book. Shut. I hate him. Amara's phone buzzed. Unknown number. Cute speech. Say goodbye to your lawyer. Her blood turned to ice. Miss Thompson's house was dark. Amara pounded the door. Helen, open up. A neighbor leaned out. She left with a cop an hour ago. What cop? Big guy. Buzz cut. Grant, Amara called. Ruiz. He's got Helen. Detective Ruiz sped through red lights. Track her phone. Amara's fingers flew across her laptop. Last signal, old factory off Route 9. Isaiah clung to the car door. I'm coming. No, Amara and Ruiz shouted together. You need me, he pleaded. I know how he thinks. Ruiz relented. Stay behind us. The factory loomed. Windows shattered. Graffiti screamed Viper forever. Amara's flashlight trembled. Helen? A whimper echoed. Miss Thompson lay tied to a pillar, gagged, face bruised. Grant stepped from the shadows, gun aimed. Took you long enough. Ruiz drew her weapon. Let her go! Grant smirked. Or what? You'll shoot me? Again? Amara stepped forward. What do you want? You. Begging. He cocked the gun. On your knees. Amara knelt, rage burning her throat. Please. Isaiah darted from behind, hurling. A brick. It smashed Grant's shoulder. The gun fired. Ceiling plaster rained down. Ruiz tackled Grant. They wrestled, rolling into broken glass. Amara freed Ms. Thompson. Run! Isaiah grabbed Grant's ankle, biting hard. Grant roared, kicking him off. Ruiz jammed her knee into Grant's chest, cuffing him. Done. Sirens wailed outside. Amara hugged Isaiah. You crazy kid. He grinned, blood on his lip. Told you I'd help. At the station, Grant spat at Amara. This ain't over. Ruiz shoved him into a cell. It is for you. Ms. Thompson limped over, hugging Amara. Thank you. We did it together, Amara whispered. Days later, the mayor approved the body cam funds. At the press conference, Amara stood beside Isaiah, his sketchbook open to a new drawing, their family unbroken under a rainbow. That night, as fireworks lit the sky, Amara's phone buzzed. Unknown number. You got lucky. But the war's just begun. She blocked it, watching Isaiah laugh with Jamal. Let them come, she thought. We'll be ready. The community center buzzed with laughter and music, the air rich with the smell of grilled burgers and fresh paint. A banner hung above the stage, celebrating justice. Kids ran between tables, clutching ice pops, while elders clapped to a local band's upbeat tune. Amara stood at the edge, watching Isaiah teach Jamal how to dribble a basketball. His smile, rare these days, warmed her heart. Ms. Thompson handed her a lemonade. You should enjoy this. We earned it. Amara sipped, her eyes scanning the crowd. Doesn't feel over. It's not, Detective Ruiz said, joining them. She nodded toward a black sedan parked across the street. License plates traced to a shell company, probably watching. Amara's grip tightened on her cup. Let them. Later, as fireworks lit the sky, Amara's phone buzzed. Unknown number. Celebrate while you can. She deleted it, but the words clung like smoke. The next morning, a teenager burst into her office. Lena, 16, Jamal's cousin. Her braids were frayed, eyes wild. "They arrested my brother. Said he tagged a cop car, but he was home all night." Amara skimmed the arrest report. Officer Cole, a new name. "Body cam footage?" "They won't show it," Lena said, trembling. Ms. Thompson leaned in. "Cole's got 4 complaints already, all dismissed." Amara's jaw tightened. "We'll get the footage." At the precinct, Officer Cole smirked. "Footage?" Camera malfunctioned. Detective Ruiz crossed her arms. "Convenient." Amara stepped closer. "Where's your patrol route log?" Cole's smile faded. "None of your business." That night, Lena's brother Dion called from jail. "They beat me up, Ms. Johnson. Said I'd learn my place." Amara's pen snapped. "We're getting you out." Days later, Ruiz dug into Cole's past. Ex-military, linked to Grant's old unit. Amara's stomach dropped. This is retaliation. The courthouse felt colder this time. Dion, in an oversized jumpsuit, glanced at Lena, who mouthed, "Stay strong." Officer Cole testified smoothly. "Saw him spray painting Cruiser 34 at 2 a.m. Amara stood. "Your patrol log shows you were 10 miles away at 2 a.m. Cole shrugged. "Typo." Judge Wilkins narrowed her eyes. "You expect this court to believe that?" Ms. Thompson stood. "We have security footage from Dion's apartment lobby. He was home all night." The video played. Dion waved to the doorman at 1:55 a.m. The gallery buzzed. Cole's fists clenched. Judge Wilkins dismissed the charges, her voice icy. "Officer Cole, consider yourself under review." Outside, Dion hugged Lena, crying. Reporters swarmed Amara. "Another win. What's next?" She stared into the cameras. "We're just getting started." That night, Isaiah answered the door. A delivery man handed him a box. "For Amara Johnson." Inside, a dead rose and a note. "Your turn." Amara threw it out, hands shaking. "Stay close to me, okay?" Isaiah nodded, face pale. Detective Ruiz traced the box. "Untraceable, but Cole's been suspended. He's angry." Amara's phone buzzed. "Unknown number. Check your car." They sprinted outside. A slash marked her driver's seat. A jagged ex-Ruiz cursed. "They're escalating." At dawn, Amara found Isaiah scribbling in his sketchbook. A rose, a car, a shadowy figure. "I want to help," he said. "Teach me to fight." "No," Amara snapped. "It's too dangerous." He slammed the book. "I'm not a kid anymore." She softened. "I know, but let me protect you a little longer." The next day, Ms. Thompson called. Cole's files vanished. Someone's covering his tracks. Amara met Ruiz at the factory where Grant was caught. "Someone's using him, higher-ups." Ruiz nodded. "Follow the money." They hacked into city records, tracing payments to a shadowy account. Blackthorn Security. Amara Googled it. Private militia, hired by the mayor's office? Ruiz's eyes widened. "The mayor's dirty." As rain battered the windows, Amara drafted a press release. The mayor's face flashed on TV. "Proud of our police reforms." Isaiah hugged her. "You can take him down." A knock interrupted. A woman in a hoodie slipped in, Lena's mom. Cole threatened Lena, said to drop the case and or else. Amara's phone buzzed. Unknown number, last warning. She stood, resolve hardening. "We're not dropping anything." The mayor's press conference was packed, cameras flashing like lightning. Amara stood at the back, hoodie pulled low, her phone recording. The mayor smiled, smooth as always. "Our city's safer thanks to real reforms, not radical lawsuits." Amara's thumb hovered over send. On her screen, a leaked contract between the mayor's office and Blackthorn Security. Millions paid to monitor activists. Beside her, Detective Ruiz nodded. Now, Amara tweeted the file. Corrupt mayor exploded instantly. The mayor's grin faltered as reporters' phones buzzed. "Any comment on Blackthorn's payments?" Someone shouted. "Fake news." The mayor snapped, but panic edged his voice. Outside, protesters swarmed the steps. Amara climbed onto a statue, mic in hand. The mayor sold us out. He hired thugs to silence us. The crowd roared. A black SUV screeched to a halt. Officer, Cole jumped out, face twisted. Shut your mouth. He lunged, but Ruiz tackled him, cuffing him mid-air. Chaos erupted. The mayor fled inside. Amara shouted, "We demand justice, now." By dusk, the mayor resigned. News vans camped outside his mansion. Amara sat with her team, Ms. Thompson, Ruiz, Isaiah, Jamal, in a diner booth, fries piled high. Isaiah grinned. "We nailed him," Ms. Thompson sighed. "But Blackthorn's still out there, and Grant's pals." Amara stirred her soda. "We'll keep fighting. Together." Ruiz slid a folder across the table. "Speaking of, Blackthorn's CEO fled the country, left a trail of fake IDs." Jamal snorted. "Rich people always run." Amara's phone buzzed. "Unknown number. You think you won? We're everywhere." She showed the group. Isaiah grabbed her phone. "Let me hack them." Amara raised an eyebrow. "Since when do you hack?" He blushed. "YouTube tutorials?" The table laughed, tension easing. Weeks later, the city council passed new laws. Body cams mandatory, community oversight boards, funds for schools over prisons. At the signing ceremony, Amara stood beside the interim mayor, her old sneakers framed under glass. "This is for everyone who believed," she said. Afterward, Isaiah tugged her sleeve. "Look." A teen girl approached, shy. "Ms. Johnson, I want to be a lawyer like you." Amara handed her a card. "Call me. We need fighters." That night, Amara's apartment felt calm. Isaiah doodled in his sketchbook a scales of justice unbroken. Ms. Thompson called. "Got a new case, tenant evictions, you in?" Amara glanced at Isaiah. "Always." A knock interrupted. A delivery man handed her a bouquet, black roses. The card read, "See you soon." Isaiah reached for it. "Toss it?" "No." Amara placed the roses in a vase. Reminders keep us sharp. Months later, Amara stood in court, defending a homeless vet framed for theft. The prosecutor sneered. "No proof, just lies." Amara smiled. "Actually," she nodded to the back. Detective Ruiz wheeled in a TV. The footage showed the vet miles away, asleep on a bench. Case dismissed. Outside, reporters asked, "What's next?" Amara adjusted her suit. "Same as always, justice." Years later, at Amara's law firm anniversary party, the walls displayed headlines of her wins. Isaiah, now a college grad, toasted, "To my sis, still terrorizing bad guys." Laughter filled the room. Ms. Thompson, retired, wiped tears. "Proud of you, kid." Amara's phone buzzed. Unknown number. A photo of a young girl in cuffs, text, "She needs you." Amara grabbed her coat. "Duty calls." Isaiah followed. "Not without me." Outside, the city buzzed, flawed but fighting. Somewhere, new threats lurked. But so did hope. In every poster, every protest, every kid who dared to dream. Amara's sneakers hit the pavement, steady as a heartbeat. The fight lived on.